Welcome to Appysmarts Discover, where we present the best and the coolest toys, apps, and educational projects. Our guest today is Valerie from Edoki Academi, and we will be talking about Montessori preschool. Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Dorota.
And welcome to the show. Can you tell me what's the main idea behind the application and who is it for?
Of course. Montessori preschool was designed by Montessori teacher. I'm a certified Montessori teacher to offer multi-subject app for children from the age of 3 years old up to about 7 years old.
Okay, what you can learn and what's the educational value of the app?
Oh my God, do you have an hour? No, just kidding. No, really, frankly, Montessori preschool is quite unique because it's a very comprehensive app. It offers learning to read from phonics all the way to reading stories. It offers in math starting from counting from 0 to 10 up to 10,000, adding, subtracting, and also geometrical shapes. It offers problem thinking, creativity, and coding activities. It also has the option to learn a foreign language because the app is developed in 7 languages. And at any time, you can just switch the language in the settings and so learn to read or learn to count in another language.
Can you walk us through the app to show us what you can learn, what you can do, how to log to the application? Can we see it?
With pleasure. Basically, Montessori preschool has 2 different ways to access the content. So the first way is the catalog, where you can see here all the categories. So coding, drawing, literacy, and math. If you go into one of the categories, there are subcategories, and inside each subcategory, there might be different games. And you can see from my screen that there is a level of difficulty that is shown. And also, if the parents want to know more about the activities, they just tap the little hat in the corner here, and there is a more detailed description of what the activities are for. The other way to access the content is if you press the big play button in the middle of the home screen, and this takes you to what we wanted to look like a traditional preschool. So somewhere that the kids could relate to, and that is fully interactive. Everything that you tap does something. So, and there are little characters that you can bring up and that do stuff if you give them accessories. Here you can hear the names of the continent. There's a cafeteria, there's a nurse station, there's a kitchen, there's a garden. You got the gist. It's really, again, it's more like a playful sandbox environment where children can explore, which is Montessori is also all about, just trying and failing or trying and succeeding and determining what you like and where you want to be spending time.
Can you show us a few of the activities or 1 or 2 activities?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So one of the traditional Montessori material in math is called the number rods. So we have 2 different activities here available. One is just to learn to count, and the next one here is called number rods and cards. So that's where children get to learn, but also then practice the fact that they can relate a quantity to a number. So here also what I forgot to say is because this app was designed for children who can't read, there's always an oral prompt. So the little girl just asked us to put the right number in front of each rod. And what's important is here I just made a mistake. And if I do that, then the app just doesn't react, just takes the number back to its original place, and I can do it again.
So, is it safe to leave the child with the application, or the application and the child needs to parents' assistance or teacher's assistant?
We are very much aware, because we've been in this market since 2011, so a long time. We've learned to know our public, and we know that most parents won't be spending time with their children on the tablet. So we always, when we design new activities or when we design the app, we always try and make sure that the kids can be using it on their own. But the dashboard that I'm showing right now allows parents to customize the app, so they can restrict the activities. So you saw before that there's a Chinese classroom to learn to speak Chinese. Well, if you don't want your kids to go in there, you can just turn it off, or you can turn off the art room or the infirmary. And what that does is basically it makes the icon disappear from the home screen, so that the children can't access the activity. That's one thing. The second thing is we added a timer, so that parents can restrict the time that children spend in the app. And what happens at the end of the timer is there's a pop-up that says your time is over. Take the iPad to a parent, or just wait until tomorrow. It's a daily timer. So to answer your question, it's safe for kids to use the app on their own. We always like to think that parents do get involved to a minimum in what they give to their child. But if they don't, there's absolutely no problem.
I see. Can you tell us what's the Edoki Club?
So as we are building this relationship with our subscribers, we wanted to offer more. And one of the areas that parents are most concerned about, you probably know, is learning to read. So in Edoki Club, basically, it means that if you subscribe to any of the 3 apps that are inside Edoki Club, you get access to all 3 apps for the same price. And so the 3 apps are Montessori Preschool, Joy of Reading, which is an app to learn to read in English, and Le Bonheur de Lire, which is an app to learn to read in French.
I see. Going back to the price, how much does it cost to use the application?
So as I was saying, Montessori Preschool comes as a subscription. And as of now, there are 2 options. You can subscribe monthly it's around €7 per month. I can't give an exact price because depending on the countries and the taxes, the amount varies, but it's between €7 and €10 per month. And then the annual fee is cheaper when you divide it per month, obviously, and that's about €60 per year. Sorry.
And what are the platforms you can use the application?
So Montessori Preschool is available on Apple, Android, so Google Play, Amazon, and Huawei.
Where we can find more information about the application, how to use it, and what are the benefits of using and what to find inside?
So I would recommend going to our website, where there's a lot of information and a lot of details on the activities and the pedagogy behind the app. We also have a YouTube channel and social media accounts. But also, if you download the app, it's free. And in the dashboard, I'll show you now. If you go to the dashboard, there's a parent guide that you can print. It's a PDF parent guide that you can open and print on your printer, or just read on your device without paying the access, without starting the free trial. It's completely free. And this gives a lot of information on the content and on our approach.
You said that every 2 months, new activities are added to Montessori Preschool. Could you tell us how many people work in the Edoki Academy?
Yes, so Edoki Academy is a team of 16 people, which is not a lot for the content that we produce. And we produce all of the languages in-house as well. We have We have, I think, I counted 6 nationalities and 7 languages. So the languages are simplified and traditional Chinese, Korean, German, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and English. So it's 8 with the 2 types of Chinese. So and what the company does is we focus on creating the new content that we add every 2 months. And I wanted to specify that the app has been available for 3 years, and we have subscribers that are still there from the beginning, because the fact that we add new content, it makes it an app that children can enjoy at any time of the day, because there's creativity, there's play, but there's learning to read and there's learning to count. So it's really, and it works offline, which is also a good point, because when you're traveling, once it's downloaded on your device, you don't need to download anything else. So it's really a very flexible and easy to use app.
Montessori Preschool is the app rather for private use, for using at home, or is it for schools, for kindergartens?
That's a very good question. And in fact, in the beginning, of course, I wasn't going to try to sell the app to Montessori schools, because children in the Montessori schools have the real material, so it's much better than the app. Our app was never intended to replace Montessori schools. It was intended to provide Montessori material to children who don't go to Montessori schools. But with the pandemic, you can imagine that we've had a humongous rise in demands from all types of schools, even Montessori schools that now have children that are stuck at home with nothing to use. They've come to us because they recognize the quality of the app, and they subscribe for their pupils to be able to use at home.
Thank you, Valerie. It was very nice to talk to you, and see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you and giving you a demo of Montessori Preschool. Anybody who has a question is more than welcome to contact me on my direct email address, which is valerie@edokiacademi.com. And I'll be more than happy to come back and talk about busy shapes and colors or code cards and other apps in our portfolio.
Yes, it would be a great pleasure for us to talk about it. To talk about those applications. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.